Wait for Carl. Get out of the line.
You're live, Nick Arrojo.
Are we ready, Carl? Carl, are you ready?
Are you there in the locker room?
We're here. Welcome to Brooklyn Live in Williamsburg, Brooklyn. From studio, I've got my partner in crime, Isabel, here, and we are putting this live out on YouTube. We're putting it on Instagram Live, and it's also on Facebook. So this is our new concept that we're going to be bringing every Tuesday night at 8 o'clock. And it's called Brooklyn Live, and definitely tell your friends. We're going to have a lot of fun. 3 elements. We have our locker room talk, where we're going to talk in a second about kind of like a bit of an opinion. And we have a makeover for you. Got a great razor cut. And then we have an incredible guest. So it's going to be a pretty packed 60 minutes. Feel free to ask questions. Isabel is right here. You can ask questions to Izzy. Izzy can let me know what's going on. And if you're wondering what is this? I found this. This is sponsored by Pork and Beans. Yeah, Campbell's, over 100 years. It's a family classic, and I have no idea why Carl had pork and beans. But I think he wants to spill the beans. I think that's what he's trying to do. He wants to spill the beans. Got a good sponsor. So there we go. Campbell's Pork and Beans. If you ever want to come, you get this on a bit of toast. You're going to love it. Won't regret it. But let's get to something a little bit more serious, because I tell you what, this is a new time now. Yeah? I feel like we woke up and all of a sudden we lost a few years. Yeah. And the most important thing is we've got to focus on looking forward, not looking back. So that's what I'm doing. That's what my business is doing. That's what I'm focusing on. And I think it's a really great time for people to get a step ahead. We're in a change game. What worked before and the traditional things of what we did before we went into this big shutdown in America and the world. And the world's changed, if you've not noticed. What used to be right is now wrong, and what's wrong is now right. So we're in this very interesting place. And I think it's very important for every hairdresser out there and professional, creative, to think about the opportunity that exists. When I'm listening to like working from home and not coming to work as much and so on and so forth, well, yeah, that might be good for you personally. It might be good for you to relax a little. It might be good for you to have that little bit of time. But I will tell you that I think that work is a 3-letter word. It's a J-O-B, and that means it's a job. And I do believe that while we have learned a little bit more about having a little bit more me time, I also believe that it's time for me and for you as the me to really get focused on maybe what the future can be, because we are in a definitive change. What that means is if I go to work for one reason, to make money. And the more successful I am, then the more money I can generate. Now, I don't focus pure and simply on the money. I focus on all of the bits, and all the bits will help me to become hopefully successful. Yeah, it's been tough. If we look over our shoulder, we think back, we look over our shoulder, it's been tough. Certainly my business has been through a lot, but I look to the future, and I look to the future success. And maybe, while the world is kind of in this place, maybe if you really put a lot of intention in, a lot of hard work, a lot of graft, then maybe you can have the things that you want out of your life. Certainly hairdressing is a young industry, and you have to put that hard work in, whether it's building a clientele for clients to cut, whether it's building a salon so that you can create your own environment that you want to create, whether it is developing some social media presence, whether you want to do education, whether you want to be on stage, how you want to present yourself. We know social media has been a part of the last 10 years, but I look at the future and I say, what's going to be the change? So I see a lot of opportunity. And that's what I think is the most important thing. For me, it's not necessarily about stepping off, stepping back, taking it easy. It's a little bit different. I was listening on the radio on the way over about Apple are now asking people to come back to work. I'll be honest with you. Good stuff happens when people work together. When people work on their own or they're not together, it's hard to get that rhythm and flow. It's hard to accomplish things. Teamwork makes the dream work. Now, teamwork doesn't have to be that everybody works for one person. We can be autonomous and still work collectively as a team. And that's really what I'm trying to create with the environment here in studio. The idea is let all the talent have the opportunity to have a great playground to maybe do a show, create a live cast, create a web stream, do clients, do trainings, if you're launching a product, launch products. When we do our launch here next week, we have other brands coming in to share their magic. We want to share. It's about being inclusive, but it's also, for me, about being part of a bigger picture. We've got to re-professionalize, in my opinion, the industry. And I don't have the answers for what that truly is going to look like. But what I do know is the world in which I grew up in hairdressing, where you had these iconic brands, that's changed. Yeah. Individuals now are holding the mantle. And when I watch social media too, yes, it's eyeballs and everyone wants eyeballs, but we've got to focus on content and quality content, because it's that quality content that's going to take you to that next level. So for me personally, I think this is a great opportunity. Now is the time to get super focused, think about what you want, set out some plans for the future, and push on. And you know what? I've been working hard for the last few years, and it's not been easy, but I've not given up. And that's why I say to everybody, let's not give up. Let's stay focused on what our future vision can be. So while I think the rest of the world are all concerned about, oh, you know, stay home, this, that, the other, I can be just as successful from home, I don't necessarily believe we can. Now, I'm not telling everybody they have to go back to work 7 days a week. But what I am saying, whatever you want, you can have. We have one big saying: dream big, work hard. Continue to keep those dreams alive. Don't listen to the exterior noise. Stay focused on the prize. And I guarantee you, whatever the future is going to bring, you're going to be in a much better place if you really focus at this very unique time. So I'm excited. I'm excited to be here. I'm thrilled. We've got Isabel here. She's awesome. She's doing a great job. Very busy in my salon in Soho. And we've got a great client out there. So I think it's time for us to do a little bit of hair. Let's leave the locker room. So why don't you come and join me, and I'll meet you out on the studio floor, and we'll go on set and we'll do a haircut for you. For the first time, Expo takes place outside of New York City. Join us from October 23rd to the 25th, featuring education, inspiration, and celebration. Education from the new generation of independent artists, including Peter Goslin, Jamie C., Corinna Hernandez, Soraya Spear, Garrett Markinson, Tracy Vasquez, and Kelly Cahan. From the Arrojo creative directors, Lena Arrojo and Paul Merry. See our trend forecast for 2023. The itinerary includes a pre-game pool party, a rooftop sunset party, the Arrojo runway show, and trend collection, followed by a spectacular after party. Food and drink are included in the ticket, and we have special hotel rates for Expo guests. Let's come together to celebrate hairdressing. See you all in West Palm Beach, Florida. Did it work, Izzy? Did it work, Cal? Did you do good, Cal?
We did it.
Cal made good. He did
Our
good.
first transition.
We have been on, I've been up since 3 o'clock this morning. I couldn't sleep last night. I've got so much going on, it's hard to think, yeah? Well, let me introduce you to Lisbeth. Is that right? I said it right, Lisbeth. I like the way you do. What do you think? How did you say that, Isabel? Elizabeth.
Lisbeth.
Why? Isabel. Elizabeth. Isabel. Your mother did. Oh, get your mother on the phone. Can you get Isabel's mother on the phone?
I'll ring her right up.
We've done a little bit of pre-cutting. Let's have a look at Lisbeth before we started. So you'll see what the things we looked at here is like. It's like your mother's bob. So we want to bring some sex appeal back, some fun. So you see how thick and dense it is through the back? What we've done is we've already started some pre-cutting with my razor. And I'll show you what we've accomplished through the back. Let me explain to you what we've been doing. And feel free to fire away and ask questions with my dear Isabel here. And we've also got Carl on Facebook. So if you're watching on any of these mediums, check it out.
Oh, we got a couple of comments already.
We've got it all covered. Now we've cut the entire back, yeah, just below the crown. And she has beautiful, thick, yet fine hair. So now it's time for me to work into the sides. Now I prepped this hair with a lot of volume foam. Volume foam is a great product for helping to put a little bit of movement into the hair. Even this texture is going to work really, really good. And you'll see I'm moving right the way over the ear, and we're going to start to keep some of that length. So now, even though I've cut to the back of the ear, now I'm going to split it right at the front of the ear, and we're going to bring that right the way in. And get that razor moving. And as we place that razor into the hair, we've got a lot of hydro mist. We have the volume foam, and we're literally connecting the back to the front. Now, in order to be a successful hairdresser, you got to find great people to cut. And usually what I do after I finish a long day at work, I go for a drink. And when I go for a drink, this is a great tip. I bet you've done this before, Isabel. Yeah?
Yes.
I always talk to the person behind the bar.
Absolutely.
So that's how I met Lisbeth.
Aww.
Yeah? She was serving me up a cocktail, and I said, you got great hair. And she said, oh, I think I might know who you are. And I said, yeah, I'm Frank. So basically, that's how we met Lisbeth, and she's got great hair, and I'm thrilled that she's here modeling for us today.
Fabulous.
How do you get models, Isabel?
Usually a similar way, going out, connecting with people in the neighborhood a lot, and also like social media is a good tool sometimes as well. But yeah, connecting with people in the bars, restaurants, friends of friends is always good too.
Nice. And how important do you think it is for a young professional that's maybe watching this, or a student from our school? How important is it for people to build their model database?
It's very important. I think as well, having a good media display is very important these days too. So once you are building, connecting, like in the street or at the bars or wherever you are, it's good to have a platform that they can view as well to kind of see what you're about. You've got a good vibe together.
And all you need to do is send them to your social media, and then they can see exactly who you are and what you're all about. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
Hi, Kelly. I see you. Kelly Stobart says, hey.
Oh, hi, Kelly. We're back.
Hey, Kelly. I think you're coming to New York to teach in the school soon.
Yeah, she's so happy to be a part of the Arrojo team. She's
we're looking forward to seeing you all the way from Chicago, Kelly. Woo. Now, listen, this is what I want to do. I want to keep all this length. I want to keep this length below the jaw. That's what I want to do. And I'm going to rotate the blade, and I'm just going to put the tip of the blade in right here. And that's what we call tipping. I'm going to take the second section on the final section. This is not a definitive part, but I'm always cutting it to the side, always, because I like it when it's slightly offset. So somebody asked me, they said, why do you always cut the side closest to the parting? Number one, I always know exactly where I am in the haircut. On a busy day, I can be like a spinning top. So I always want to know if I start on this side, closest to the part, that's the way that she pushes the hair. So that's kind of something that I've always done. Also, it gives me a chance to complete kind of a third of the picture, because I can complete like a third of the photo of the picture right here. And when I'm cutting hair, one of the main things is I'm always looking at the client. I want to see how the haircut feels, and I also want to feel her energy. Yeah, I mean, I think that's one of the hardest things with these masks is you don't know what they're thinking, and it's really hard to read your clients.
Yeah.
To be a successful hairdresser, you got to be really good at reading your clientele.
We have a question.
Great.
Why the razor versus the shears today?
Well, the razor is going to do two things for me. Number one, it's going to get me to cut length, and number two, it's going to get me to add texture. One of the things that we spoke about during the consultation was that the hair was very thick and very full, and she wanted pieciness. So the razor is a quick route to get the pieciness in the shape. It's the quickest route possible to get the pieciness and the length all at the same time. Scissor cutting comes before razor cutting. Razor cutting is the skill that you learn after you master the craft with a scissor. The scissor approach is architectural. The razor approach is more sculptural. We think of the scissor haircut as more of a line drawing, and the razor haircut as more of a sketch. And I didn't cut hair with a razor for the first 10 years of my career because I grew up with the Vidal Sassoon family, just like Isabel here. And razors were not seen as being a tool that one should use to cut hair with. But you know, when people tell me not to do something, then I'm going to do it. Yeah?
Yeah.
So that's usually what we do. And Isabel said, yeah, because every time I tell her,
she knows.
every time I tell her not to do it, she always does it.
She's all over that one.
She's all over that one, yeah.
Hey,
Rebel.
Candace Rio says, you're right. Focus on the client and everything else just falls in place.
Everything else falls in place.
That's right.
Absolutely. And keep the comfort. Keep the hair out of the client's features. Don't let the hair drip. You know, all of these things are critical. And just as I said it fell down, didn't it? Eh?
The hair's rebelling.
Eh?
Focus on the client.
Also, someone's asking if we're live on YouTube. We are, right, Carl?
Yes, we are.
We are live on
We got a
YouTube, guys.
check mark. Yep.
Yeah, now this is the first time we're doing this, everybody.
Yeah.
And so we're trying. We want to put together a very informative show every week. We want to bring the hair show to your home. We want to bring the hair show to your device. And rather than the last, 25, 30 years I've been traveling all over the country, I think it's time for me to stay a little bit closer to home and maybe travel virtually into the universe. And that's something that we have here with Studio. We've got 5 fully automated cameras. We've got this amazing photographic wall. We can do live stream.
Beautiful.
And we can also do recorded videos. And that's something that everybody who becomes a member of Studio gets the ability to have the chance to do. Conceptually, it's relatively new for us. We're launching literally next week, and we still have loads of things to figure out. The reason being, it's a destination that I'm moving towards rather than a finished goal. So that's what Studio is, and it's a playground for hairdressers and creatives. And if you're interested and you're in New York and you want to come to the launch party, where I'm sure Isabel will be there. Oh, no, you're going to be in LA. No, you're going to be here.
No, I think I'll be here, yes.
And then you go to LA the following day. Is that right?
That's right. And that's when I'll be turning 31 also.
What, 27?
Exactly.
Exactly.
We have a really good question here, actually.
Okay.
So I notice it's more straight blade razor versus feather. Can you show us your hand position?
Yeah, and that's important. Yeah?
Yeah.
This is important. Can you get that? I don't know if Cal can get that too. Yeah? So you'll see the razor sits right in between. This is what we teach in our razor fundamentals class. And you push and you hold and you rotate, and it's not the wrist, it's just literally, it's just the thumb and the finger. Now, I see a lot of people doing this, which is great. There's a lot of great educators out there, and we see a lot of them. But, you know, we call this the lock, and when we load the comb in, that's called, I'm moving away from you, Carl. It's like opposite here. There you go. That's how we hold. We call that the V.
Yeah.
So you see I'm creating that V. So when I go in to comb the hair, the razor's very safe and away from the client. And you got to learn how to lock this finger down and rotate the comb. You got to learn that. And that's part of the craftsmanship. And You know, we can teach you that because that's what we've developed and honed over the years. When I left Fidel Sassoon, the first thing that I wanted to do was do things that I wasn't allowed to do. We knew
I'm coming closer, guys.
Get it.
People are telling me I'm
don't
too
be shy.
far away.
I'll squeeze the camera. Get in.
All right. So right here, you can see. You might want to come around the back here.
Okay, yeah.
Come around the back. You can see. I can feel the hair disappear between my fingers, and then the blade. I'm just melting that hair away.
Look at that.
This is a straight edge razor, and the straight edge razor means that when you're working with the guard, the first thing that hits the hair is the guard. When you're working with the straight edge blade, there's no guard. So it's all in your fingertips, and it's like sculpture. And you'll notice I can feel the thickness and the density. So we call this tipping. I'm just tipping into the hair. If you want to learn razor cutting, you want to master it, come to one of my classes. They're all fully hands-on. There's no demos. We don't bother with demonstrations. The reason being, I think when people come for class, they really want to learn how to work with the blade. And the longer this is in your hand, the better it's going to be for you and everybody else. So that's part of our educational process. Fine teeth of the comb, working right the way through, and just melt that hair away. You can get into number 5, maybe, Carl, and we have number 1. Let's get some different shots. It's okay to have lovely Isabel in the back there.
Hello, Mama.
What was that?
Hello.
Hello there.
All right, so now let me spin around just a little. You'll see that we've got it on the low side part. It's not going to stay there, but right now I'm going to split this down the center. I'm going to comb this hair back. I'm going to melt that hair down using what we call the plane of the blade. Look at how much texturizing we have. Camera number 1. Look at how much texturizing we have. Camera number 1.
One hot.
There he is. See, look, all that texture right in there. You want to keep all that texture, and now we're going to come from the opposite side. We're just going to melt that hair away.
Question.
Yeah.
How do you like to connect with your clients? What do you like to talk to them about?
Sex, drugs, and rock and roll. Politics, religion.
All the good stuff.
All the good stuff. Yeah, well, there's no point otherwise. No, you know what I do? This is what I do. I like to talk about them.
Yeah.
I like them. I always turn the conversation onto them. And once you turn the conversation onto them, I think it gives you a lot of freedom to focus on the hair. Because when the conversation's about you, then guess what? You're talking too much, and you want to focus on the hair. So I do have a pretty systematic approach. My approach is the first thing that I need to do is a little bit of calm and quiet. Because in that first 5 to 7, maybe to 10 minutes, I want to make sure that I'm on track. So when I first started the back of this haircut, I made sure that the back of the haircut sat in perfectly, and then we started communicating. And it's the same thing in the salon. Clients, I get the haircut started. Once we kind of get through the first 7 minutes, roughly, then I actually start to, if the questions come at me, I usually try to turn it round. And here's some easy things to say. What are you doing tonight?
Yeah.
Yeah? What are you doing tonight?
Yeah.
Where are you going to go? Yeah? And that just kind of opens the door for it not to be about you.
Yeah.
You know, I try to give my clients an experience, but I'm real. I'm honest. And, and you get to know your clients. New clients, we talk less to initially. And then your regular clients, you're going to end up talking, a little bit more to, because you kind of know the rhythm. Your clients, they say your clients are not your friends. I say your clients are your friends.
Yeah.
What do you like to do with your clients, Isabel? Because I know you have a nice, unique approach.
I like to make them laugh.
You like to make them laugh, don't you?
I do.
Why do you like to make them laugh?
Because, it keeps you young laughing.
Does it?
Apparently you live longer if you laugh more.
Apparently, yeah.
Works for me.
It works for Carl.
And I laugh a lot. No, I do. I like to make them laugh and make them feel, have a good time.
Yeah, it's great. I mean, I think that's it. Create the experience.
Yeah.
New York's, it's not the same since we got back. And as we're now moving forward, New York, you read the news. There's a lot of crime. Yeah. It's a little bit messy. A lot of people have moved out. There's a lot of rich people in New York too, and the rich people go away for the summer, so the summer's been very quiet.
Yeah.
And certainly the last couple of weeks before the holiday, which will be Labor Day, that's going to be pretty quiet. So you really got to work hard. When I come to work every day, I hustle, trying to get clients in through the door. I'm a hustler. Yeah, I want to make sure that every minute that I've got while I'm working is focusing in on my dream. Which is the dream is to go to work, be productive, be successful, build your clientele, make your clients feel happy, and try and keep the essence of your brand moving forward. Okay, if we look on top, Carl, can you go straight to the top camera?
Sure thing.
You can see we're right on the top camera, and you'll see that I'm almost kind of hitting the middle. Yeah? So even though this is I kind of sectioned it over here, we're hitting the middle. I'm going to continue on over that. I'm going to pull everything over this way to keep it to that low side. And then as I start to get towards the finishing point of the haircut, what's going to happen is I'm going to start to push the hair up and around and over. Start to look and see. I'm not looking for a perfectly perfect shape. I'm looking for a lot of movement, a lot of texture, and I am looking for balance. Yeah, but the balance is not necessarily perfect on both sides, because sometimes faces are not perfect on both sides. So you just look for that balance, and you use your mirror, which is an amazing tool to see not only how your client looks, but to see how you think she looks or how he looks, because their image is in your hands, and that is the critical factor. Notice fine teeth of the comb. Fine teeth of the comb gets the hair really nice and taut. So you'll see fine teeth of the comb, and now we use the tip of the blade just to tip and soften. And then I comb with the wide teeth. Yeah, comb with the wide teeth to see how that hair starts to look. Okay, now it's time to work across the opposite side, because we're now moving into, I think we're moving towards the final phase. Yeah, so when I mean the final phase, it's like now we're moving into detail.
Looking good.
So I'm going to comb this hair over, and I'm going to literally comb this hair all the way back, and you'll see that's the little piece. Can you pull further away, Carl?
Yeah.
You can see that little piece right there. There's the shape of the hair. So when you're razor cutting, you're looking for the guide. There's the guide. Can you get that? You can see that.
Yeah.
See a little bit of that guide as we work all the way through.
We see it great from the top.
Do you have time for another question?
Yeah, we always fire away.
What draws you to the razor?
Okay.
Likes and dislikes, they said.
Okay. Franco.
Thanks, Franco.
Thanks. So listen, the razor for me was an extension of my artistry as a hair cutter. The razor for me, in the 1990s, the early 90s, hair became very undone. And when you talk about undone hair, because the Sassoon technique was so precise, it was all about clean lines. So with the razor, it was the opposite. So as I said slightly earlier, creating softer lines was easier for me with a razor. I used to love cutting precision type based haircuts with a scissor. The problem that I had, I more often than not didn't kind of like the way the person looked. I looked at the haircut and not the person. When I picked up the razor, the whole concept was now talking about the person. Now, a razor is not better than a scissor. It's just different. Think razor cutting is sculpture. Hair cutting with a scissor is architecture. So again, you'll learn both things. And notice how I'm only razoring in the final 2 to 3 inches of the hair. I'm not going this deep. It would be too deep. So I'm staying right in here because I still want the body and the fullness, but I want the softness through the ends. And we create space. We're creating space. Now, when you create space in hair, guess what? It means the hair will move better because guess what? There's less hair to push it back. So razor cutting is creating space within the shape.
Love it.
Your razor comb, this is the Arrojo razor comb. Very important tool always. Combs are just as important as, it's just as an important tool as your actual blade itself. And the Arrojo brand, we have it all. That's because we have a school, and we want to make sure that all of our students get the same tools that we use ourselves, and that's what we do. So we have combs, razors, scissors, clips, combs, you name it, blow dryers, smoothing irons. We got all kinds of magical stuff. All right, now it's time to really zone in. And when I talk about zoning in, I'm going to talk about zoning into my client. I want to see how this hair, because the hair, as the hair is now starting to dry, you're starting to see that the hair's coming to life. Yep, the hair's coming to life. We need to keep the length here. We need to keep the length here. I'm now going to take a section through the front. I'm going to comb this hair down. And I'm going to tip, 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 tip. And this is that tipping that I was talking about. This just adds a little bit more space into the shape. So, do we have people watching us, Isabel?
We do. Hello, everybody.
Where have we got people coming in from?
We've got people coming in from the West Coast.
Yeah, look at that. The West
We've
Coast.
got people from
the East Coast.
The Midwest.
Oh, don't ask her.
I'm on the spot here. Sorry, I'm sliding. Guys, let us know. Drop your name, where you are, location, and I'll give you a shout out.
Yeah,
We'd love to say
Now,
hi.
if you was watching the
Atlanta,
I love Atlanta.
Miami,
Miami,
Houston, Texas.
me love Miami.
Chicago, Christopher Venegas.
Now, if you was watching before the little transition that we had, that was our show Expo.
Yeah.
What can you tell us about Expo, Isabel?
Expo is a very exciting annual celebration of what we're inspired by, trends, bringing the hairdressing community together and having a big party. It's a lot of fun.
And this year we're taking it to where, Carl?
Oh, West Palm Beach.
West Palm Beach.
Flow rider.
What?
Flow rider.
Low rider?
Flow rider.
Oh, Flow Rider.
Yeah.
Yeah, West Palm Beach. The reason being is last year we had our big event at the TWA terminal at JFK.
We
And
did.
unfortunately, this lovely city of mine decided to go crazy with the vaccine. So we lost a lot of people. We decided that this year we would change it and go on the road to one of the most open societies in the country, which is Flow Rider. Yeah.
Flow Rider,
and this year
baby.
we're celebrating independent education. So what
us.
that means is we're crossing the boundaries between brands. It's not Arrojo centric. It's education centric. So we have 7 guest educators who all have created their own platform, and we're going to celebrate them, and we're going to let our audience share in their philosophies, and we'll see what the rest of the community of hair is doing. Never living in fear. Yeah, don't live in fear. Oh, look, this is looking pretty cute. Carl, can you get me from the front, please?
No fear.
Cute.
So we can start to see what's happening right here.
Happy, happy.
So, and if you're interested in Arrojo Expo, there'll only be 125 people there. And we've already sold 50% of the tickets. So if you're interested, it's going to be an amazing 2-day event. And we also have the creative team. The Arrojo creative team are going to be presenting too. And it's 2 days of fun celebration. What's our catchphrase? We say celebration, inspiration, and education.
And 3 big parties.
And 3 big parties, or 3 big tins of beans. Because I know who likes those beans.
Sponsored
All
by
right.
Campbell's.
Yeah.
We got West Virginia, New Jersey, Chicago,
Pittsburgh.
Pennsylvania.
That's great.
We're
That
out
is
there.
awesome.
New Orleans, Arizona.
Now, don't forget, at the end of the program, we've got a mystery guest in the
Mystery.
chat room, haven't we, Carl?
Yeah.
Don't tell anybody who it is, Carl.
I'm not.
Yeah, because I can't
Don't
wait for...
spill the beans.
I can't. Don't
spill
spill
the
the beans. I can't wait for Isabel to see her mother.
You're getting it now.
Yeah, it'll be Isabel's mother. She doesn't know. Don't
Come on,
tell
man.
her.
You broke it open. What was that
I
about?
blew it there, mate. Blew it. Yeah.
Loose lips, huh?
So look at now, I'm using the wide tooth of the comb. Now remember, I put volume foam in. I'm using the wide tooth of the comb.
Do you always prep the hair like that
I don't
before you
always
cut?
prep the hair, but sometimes it's a great thing to do because you know what? We need to be better at selling and we need to be better at showing people what the product does. And most people, when they get to the end of the haircut, they're thinking about the next appointment, the next client. So for me, you know, sometimes it's about just mixing it up a little bit. Whatever you do, change it. Yeah, if you find yourself doing the same thing all the time, mix it up a little. It's more exciting when you mix things up a little. You don't want things to stay the same. Now you can see right here,
A lot of texture.
have a look and see, you can see how much more movement and lightness she has.
Look at that.
She still has length. She's still got the length, but she got rid of the mum bob.
Yeah.
The mum bob. It sounds like a song.
Mum.
Need a little backbeat for the mum bob. Ba-dum, ba-dum.
And razor cutting, I got an advanced razor class here in New York. Advanced razor class is where you come and you learn 4 haircuts. We got razor fundamentals. That's where you come and you learn the artistry of working with a straight edge blade. And we also have a classic scissor cutting class, which will really just help you hone your skills on classic scissor work. They're the 3 classes that we have coming up in our New York Academy. And as you tune in here every week, we're going to have different characters, different styles, different guests, and different techniques. Yeah, it's more about edutainment, little education with a little bit of entertainment to keep it fun. And you can also ask questions to find out exactly what we're doing here in the big NYC.
What about men's haircuts?
We got men's haircuts
We
too.
do,
You know, we got a great barbering program here in my cosmetology school. We have barbering, we have aesthetics. We've been very busy. I tend not to rest on my laurels. I think it's important to continue to push through.
What's that? Your elbow?
Sometimes it doesn't go your way. Yeah, sometimes it doesn't go your way for a while. Yeah, in my life, when I've been with my work career, I've gone through moments where it's been tough. I've gone through moments where it's been difficult, you know, but eventually the sun comes out. And that's really, you know, what I encourage everybody. Just stay with the program, stay with the process, and eventually things will change. It's inevitable. Never quit. And there's no such thing as failure. I say it's quitting. So don't quit and you'll never
Happy
fail.
incidents.
Sorry?
Happy incidents.
Happy incidents. That was a happy incident when I found those baked beans of Carol's. Yeah, Mr. Bean. How's your hair feeling? You can see it, can't you? Yeah, she's looking at a massive camera. And we've got cameras either side. So if you're ever doing a demo, right, you got a camera here, you got a screen there, you got a screen behind. We've got cameras everywhere so that when we're doing something that's a little bit more professional, you know, we can I can see what I'm doing without having to keep turning.
It's right there.
So that is Mr. Carlito. He's a wizard when it comes to technology, except for when he plays with that YouTube thing and creates an echo chamber.
Woo, that was vicious.
Hello.
Scared the heck out of me.
So as I get towards the end of the cut, what you're going to notice is I don't want to razor it. I'll tell you why I don't want to razor it, because guess what?
What?
The hair's starting to get a little drier. Because I've got the moisture of the hydro mist, I can still I can feel it, but I don't want to wet the hair down anymore. So I'm just going to work with the razor, knowing that that hydro mist, which is my lightweight spray conditioner, part of our Arrojo product hero, that's just going to help me continue to allow me to push the razor through the hair. And then my finish is going to be with a scissor. So I'm going to pick up a scissor right at the very end. So Elizabeth, how you feeling? Do you feel like this was a good idea? Because I woke up this morning and I was thinking, I need a model for tonight. Yeah, I was like, I have no model. I said, I need a model and I need a special guest. Yeah. Thank God the Queen said she would come on. I hope we just get to her before she puts the corgis to bed, you know? And then just as it happened, we met in the bar a
hours ago.
Oh,
Next door.
Ay, ay, ay.
Wait, just you wait. We've got Ben coming in soon. We got Ben.
Yeah.
Unless he's ran away.
There's Ben.
Yeah. We met Ben. We meet people and we bring him in. So she emailed me this morning, and I had about 40 messages on social media where I got all these different people who were interested. And then, bing, what was that thing when something was in your inbox? Harry Met Sally? Remember that? I'm showing my age. Do you remember that, Carl? You must have watched it on VHS.
I love that film.
You've got mail.
You've got mail.
You've got mail. So she emailed me, sent me a picture, and said, "Oh my God, this will be brilliant." And just as it happened, she was supposed to work, weren't you?
I was, but
You bailed.
yeah, I did.
Yes.
She bailed for the old guy.
Nice.
She bailed for the old guy.
Definitely worth a little sticky.
So now just a little bit of scissor work, and then we're going to power dry. Now the scissors just like sealing the cuticle, sealing the end. The hair's literally about 75 to 80% dry. But I'm just literally sealing the cuticle right here. How does it feel? Does it feel different?
It feels very different. It feels so much better, lighter, more flowy.
Yeah. So
Nice.
tell me the truth. Do you really know me? If you know me, you'd know what I'd like to drink. What is it?
Tito's and tonic.
Hey.
Oh, yeah.
But what else?
She's a very good
Specific.
bartender.
With a lime
With a lime
and
and
a real straw.
a real straw.
A real
None of those,
No paper straws.
none of those,
Cardboard.
Paper
cardboard
straws are
straws
pointless,
that
isn't it?
your lips stick to. You're like,
Yeah. Melting away.
yeah.
All right.
Carl knows that. Tito's and tonic and beans on toast.
Beans on
Love
toast.
it.
Pork and beans.
I grew up on beans on toast.
Yep.
Yeah, Marco, my son, he's bewildered by beans on toast.
He's bewildered.
Yeah.
We've
Beans
got to
on
give him
toast.
some beans on toast.
Do you know what they used to call beans on toast? Tight perm on the top when you had it short on the sides and a tight curly perm on the top. They called that
it.
beans on toast.
No way.
We did. Yeah. Clients would
massive.
come in and say, "I'd like some beans on toast, please."
That's brilliant.
Was that Sassoon's?
Vidal Sassoon. Well, in Vidal Sassoon, you was not called a colorist. I don't know when
Technician.
you was there, was you called a colorist? Or what did you call them when you was there?
Technicians.
Technician. They weren't technicians when I was there.
Oh, what were they?
Do you not know?
No.
Come on. Take a guess. I'll give you 20 cents.
Colory. Beans on toast maker. I'm not sure actually.
Tinter
Oh,
perma.
yes,
Oh,
gotcha.
look at that. Tinter perma, because
Yeah.
we used to tint and perm. Tint and perm, perm and tint.
Gotcha, yeah. Hi, Karen Gordon.
Is that Karen?
It's Karen in the
Happy
house.
birthday, Karen.
Happy birthday!
Yeah.
Happy birthday.
70, no, 40, no, 20, no.
Not a day over 25, babe.
Not a day over 25. Not like Carl.
No, a couple days over. Yeah.
So Karen's going to be in New York next week. We got my good friend Jeff South coming. My good friend Mr. Brian Buddy is coming. And we're going to have a great time here. And if you want to come down and check us out here at the studio, all you need to do is send me a message. Send me a message and we'll send you the info.
What if they want to be a model?
Oh, DM me.
Yeah.
DM us. Yeah.
Send us a DM, guys.
Yeah, I was trying to get Ben to be my model.
Yeah, it'd be a great
Yeah,
model,
but he
actually.
got a bit weird. He was like that. What's this guy touching my hair for? What's this guy touching my hair? You know? He's not washed it for a
I'll
month.
take care of you, Ben.
He's got sand in it. Has he got sand in it? He's not washed it for a month. Mr. Sandy. Mr. Sandman.
the beach waves.
The beach waves.
Got it one.
Okay, let's just have a little look because I think it's almost time. Do we still have...
8:46
Is
it
the
is.
Queen Mother still waiting in the
Queen
chat
Mother
room for
is
us?
waiting, anxiously waiting.
She's anxiously waiting. Well, just a second. Let's pick up
She's about to turn her mic
my...
on.
Oh, it's so light. My Arrojo blow dryer.
Lighter than a
Lighter than an iPhone.
Lighter than an iPhone.
Let's get some
lighter
of
than
that out.
an iPhone, guys.
Let's get some of that out. Let's give it... Now, look at that texture.
Yeah.
Look at the texture. That's from the volume foam and from the haircut.
And this is what the people want right now, this texture.
This is what the people want.
It is.
This is what the peoples. It wants the peoples. The peoples. It wants the people. That's what they want. It's precious here.
People want. Come on, what do people want?
Precious. So all the people. Look at that. Look at that nice. If I spin around, just look at that nice texture right in here. See all that movement.
Nice.
Let's pull this off. Take that. Let's pull out her collar. Get her looking snazzy because she came looking. She came looking so snazzy.
Yeah.
Yeah. So she's got the color. The color. That's the. I blow dried the microphone.
You
Sorry,
sure
Carl.
did. Thank you very much. You blew dried the mic. That was nice. I got it. Oh, look at that.
And then what we're gonna do
Not your mother's Bob.
is we're just gonna give
Love.
this a little bit more of that. And I think we got refinished there, have we, Izzy?
We do.
Do you want to show everybody what that looks like? What do you think?
I love it.
Yeah?
Yeah,
You
it's much more me. Like it doesn't look like a. What did you call it?
A mum bob.
Like
What's
that?
a mum bob?
We love a mum
doesn't
with
look like
Bob.
Sing me a
But-
song. Now this is our refinished dry texture. Oh, there's the mum bob. Oh, there's your mother.
There's your mother.
Show me your mother again, please. There
There's
she
there's
is.
the mother.
Woo. See,
Fabulous.
It's
see, we
amazing.
can take Ben from Mr. Sandman and turn him into Mr. GQ. Yeah. I don't know if you could say GQ anymore.
Why?
It's all the
The
alphabet,
magazine.
isn't it? Alphabet City, baby. Now, the nice thing about this is, look, it doesn't get powdery. It's a dry texture spray.
There's no white residue.
I like the way you said that. No, right. There's no white residue.
None.
Clear.
All right.
Crystal clear.
You know what you're going to do, Isabel?
Yes.
You're going to take
Yep.
Lisbeth. Actually, you know what? We're not going to take Lisbeth. You know what we're going to do? We're going to keep Lisbeth right here. And do you know
Okay,
what we're going to do,
perfect.
Carl?
What do you want to do?
I want to see if there's somebody in the chat room waiting to say hello to us.
Let's do it.
Should we try?
You want to try?
Let's see who the mystery guest is. Can you guess the singer? Can we unmask the singer? Oh, it's your mother. Oh! We've got him, but we can't hear him, Carl.
Open your mic, Mr. Gino.
Come on,
No.
Gino.
Oh,
Hey.
Hi.
hey,
That was
Gino, how
a minute.
are you?
I
Tell
am
everybody who you are, just in case they've not seen the news.
I am terrific. Thank you. I am Gino Stampora. I'm the industry's top inspirational speaker, and I am honored and excited to be here.
You're excited to be there. Let's just get out of there. Let me sit in the hot seat. Don't forget your microphone.
Sounds good. Although
Yeah.
it is wine time at my house, so
Oh, it's 1 o'clock somewhere, Gino.
It's always wine time in
That it
Gino's
is. That it
in
is.
Gino's house. It's always wine time.
that was a beautiful haircut.
Do you like it?
I
Now
love
listen,
it.
Gino. How long have you been in the hair business?
40 years.
40 years.
40 years.
Same as me.
Right?
Yeah.
And what keeps you so
Veterans.
motivated and inspired?
I'll tell you what, I'm one of those guys that's just very inspired by life. You know, how lucky we are to be alive, how lucky we are to be in this great industry, how lucky we are to have such great friends like you. I mean, you know, sometimes I think people look at all the bad parts of their life instead of looking at all the good parts of their life. And shit, the reality is you're going to be dead soon. Why not have a good time while you're alive, you know?
You got to have a good time. Now, somebody told me that we have a special guest just announced. Did a little bird tell me that we're going to see you in West Palm Beach?
I'm telling you, that was so good that this worked out, and I'm so excited to be there. I love the expo. Ever since I did the first one, I want to be at every one. It's the greatest blend of fun, inspiration, motivation, great hair, fantastic educators. I can't wait to be a part of it. I'm honored.
And I've heard that you've got a special program for us. Can you tell us a little bit about what that could be?
Well, I've got a Tuesday morning program, Nick, that very much is based on kind of what you talked about in the opening, where we are today, looking at getting past COVID, looking forward, moving forward. I think we all have defining moments, and that's what I'm going to talk about that Tuesday morning to close out the expo, is that every person has a defining moment. And that if you can take that moment, if you can make that moment matter, if you can do something with that, I mean, just because we've been through a crazy last couple of years, it's no reason to stop living. I think this is the best time ever for beauty people. I mean, we're recognized more than we've ever been before. We've been given more value than ever before. Now's the time to make hay. You know the old saying, make hay when the sun shines? Well, the sun is shining on our industry. So now's
That's
the time.
exactly right. The sun is shining. Now, you're really funny. Yeah, you know that, don't you?
Yes, I do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was you always funny, or did you just end up becoming funny? What is it, a natural talent, or did you work on it?
I have to tell you, I was laughing watching you with the razor, and I thought that razor is so sharp. I mean, it's a sharp razor. Your razors are sharp. The Arrojo razor is sharp. I could never use a sharp razor because I was so bad with the razor because you weren't around then. There was nobody there doing razor classes and nobody taught you. I would grab the razor, look at that hair, and woo, the hair would be gone. Yeah, you know what? I've always been funny. I mean, why not? Why not be funny? And
Why not?
Why not? You know, one of the hardest things to teach people, Nick, is you've got to find a way to put humor in your life every day. You know, you've got to find a way to laugh at COVID. You've got to find a way to laugh at what's taken place. I mean, you can look at it with misery if you want, but that's like putting a weight on you. But if you laugh at it, you laugh it off.
But you've got to be serious in business too.
Of course.
You know, I mean, do you think people really understand the seriousness and then there's the lightheartedness? It's kind of getting that balance. It's a difficult balance because certainly when you're a leader, you know, you have to have some of those, let's call them tough conversations.
Of course. Yeah. I remember the first time I decided that I was no longer going to be a nice boss. I was going to turn myself into an honest boss. And there's such a difference between nice and being honest. And I had a girl that worked for me that was a great hairdresser, but she'd been married 5 times. With all of us, we went through every wedding. Now she's getting ready for her 5th divorce. And she's in the break room and she's saying, all men suck. And finally, I looked at her and I said, you know, perhaps it's you. Perhaps it's you. I mean, 5 husbands. Perhaps it's time to look at yourself and decide, you know, what. And, you know, I'll tell you, Nick, I really do believe, as I know you do, there's greatness in everyone. It's just a matter of, can you find a way to really bring that greatness out? Or are you just going to let it roll, you know?
And you used to be a salon owner. You don't own salons right now, do you? But what's your, is it a business coaching? What are you, inspiration? What do you do in our industry? What do you do mainly?
Not a lot right now. I'm actually trying to slow down a little bit.
Yeah.
However, I do shows. Not as many shows as before because there's no more regional shows right now, but I'll do probably 15 or 20 shows this year, maybe 50 in salon seminars in the larger salons. I think everybody needs inspiration right now. You know, they need a charge.
Yeah. Do you think the industry is going to get back to more shows, or do you think what do you think the future is going to be? Do you ever think about that?
Oh, I do think about it all the time, and it's so hard to say, Nick. I don't know. I don't know. I really don't know where we're going to go. I heard somebody say to me that they now call the younger generation the lost generation, that they're just lost, that they can't seem to find their. And I don't know that I've ever believed in like Xers and baby boomers. Listen, people are human. All humans want to be treated with love and respect. All humans want to be successful. I don't think anybody that went to high school wrote in the yearbook, I'm going to be the alcoholic or I'm going to be the drug addict.
Well, I don't, Isabel. Maybe it was me.
Carl may have done something like that, but
well, I got the best job because when I became a hairdresser, I used to go to the pub after work and sit around with all the girls and talk about hair. You know, and I thought, I've got the best 2 things. Absolutely. I've got my career, my passion. I got great looking people around me, and I have a little shandy. How good is that?
And you know what? I loved your opening when you talked about after work going to have a drink to build business. I mean, that is the greatest way to build business. No doubt about it. Is just word of mouth and telling people every day, all the time, what you do. And a lot of people in our industry, they just stop talking about it when they leave. And I think the thought of working together as a team, what it really does is it allows you to become more creative by bouncing off the creativity of others. And a lot
Sure.
of people, when they work alone, they kind of don't even know what they're missing, you know? I don't know if ever you've heard the saying, the more I know I need to know.
Well, I've heard that saying before, but what I've learned in life, I used to know a lot more when I was in my 20s. I'm happy that I know a lot less now I'm in my 30s.
Yeah, yes, I agree. And I have to say, you look terrific.
Yeah, well, Carl's got a special filter. Yeah, he's got a special filter. Well, Gino, listen, we are absolutely stoked that you've been added to the roster for Expo. We knew that you was the first person I called, because you're always there, part of our family, and you was already booked. And you and I were a little bit sad about that, but we have to honor our commitments, which is the right thing to do. It just so happened the job that you had changed, the door opened up, and we're thrilled to have you. And I know all of my family will be thrilled to have you as part of our expo because you're part of our culture.
I am thrilled to be there, and I can tell all of you right now that Tuesday morning will be unforgettable.
It'll be great. Well, listen, do me a favor.
Yes, sir.
Go and get yourself another glass of wine and have a drink for me. Thanks very much for taking some time out for us. And
cheers,
we'll see
everyone.
you soon.
Thanks for listening. Nick, thank you. You're the best.
All right.
See y'all soon.
Bye-bye, Gino. Love you, man.
Cheers. Now, before we go, I want to show you what. I want to show you something. I want to show you Isabel. Well, there she is. Look at the boots. She's got those boots, and look at all that hair. Let's bring in Lisbeth. We'll bring her back. Come on in. We got that. Isabel's there. Carl, come on and say goodbye.
Come on.
You know how to do it. Oh, let's stand you up right here. Get the camera in. Hey, come on. Oh, look, come on. Get him in. Get him in. Get him in. Get him in. Look, we did it. We did it. Look. There's another. We got another. This is the man for it's got sand in it.
Next week.
He washed it 14 days ago.
Beautiful.
Thanks for joining us. We'll see you next week on Brooklyn Live with Nick and friends and Carl and
Not a
this
bad
and
show,
that
huh?
and that. Not bad. You did it. You only made one mistake.
No, it was about 3. But who's counting?
Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Have a good night.
You guys rock. Out of here.